When you think about daytime television, you usually imagine family drama, shocking secrets, and long-lost twins popping up out of nowhere. But back in the 1980s, General Hospital changed the game by introducing a character that felt like he belonged in a James Bond movie rather than a soap opera. That character was none other than Robert Scorpio, played by the one and only Tristan Rogers. Robert wasn't your average soap opera dad or doctor. He wasn't just there to cry in the hospital halls or exchange slaps during dinner scenes. No, Robert was a spy, a secret agent, and later the police commissioner of Port Charles. He brought adventure, danger, and international intrigue to a show that, until then, was mostly about hospital staff and love triangles. Suddenly, General Hospital was no longer just about medicine or romance, it was about saving the world. In this video, we're going deep into Robert Scorpio's legendary journey, how he became one of the most iconic soap characters of all time, the crazy storylines that had fans glued to their TV screens, and of course, the man who brought him to life, Tristan Rogers. And yes, we'll also talk about the heartbreaking news of Tristan's death in 2025, which left fans in the entertainment industry mourning a true legend. Now, if you've ever watched General Hospital, you know this. Robert Scorpio had a way of showing up at just the right time. Sometimes thought dead, sometimes missing, sometimes undercover, he was always the man to save the day. Fans couldn't get enough of his slick accent, his spy gadgets, and that irresistible charm. So grab your tea, coffee, or maybe even a martini shaken, not stirred, because this is the full story of Robert Scorpio, Tristan Rogers, and the gossip, drama, and legacy that still has fans talking decades later. Stay tuned, because we're about to uncover both the on-screen scandals and the real-life twists that made this character and this actor unforgettable. Robert Scorpio first appeared on General Hospital in December 1980. Believe it or not, he wasn't supposed to stay long. The role was originally meant to last just a single day. But Tristan Rogers' performance completely blew producers away. Fans immediately loved his presence, the Australian accent, the mysterious aura, the sense that something bigger was happening in Port Charles. Before long, Scorpio wasn't just a guest star, he became a central figure. Robert's backstory was thrilling from the start. He was introduced as an agent for the World Security Bureau, WSB, which was basically General Hospital's version of a global spy agency. He was smooth, clever, and brave. Unlike most soap opera characters who were stuck in endless hospital romances, Robert brought danger and intrigue to every scene. Over the years, Scorpio's story grew richer. He became the police commissioner of Port Charles, a role that made him both a hero and sometimes a target. He also had deeply personal relationships that soap fans adored. He married Anna Devane, not once, but twice, creating one of soap opera's greatest super couples. He was also married to Holly Sutton, another fan favorite, and he fathered Robert Scorpio, a character who would go on to become one of the show's most beloved doctors. Robert's balance between being a spy, a family man, and a leader made him unique. He wasn't just solving crimes, he was protecting Port Charles from international villains, fighting the infamous Cassadine family, and saving the world from disaster more than once. Fans loved that Scorpio wasn't just about muscles and mystery. He had charm, wit, and an emotional depth that made you believe in his struggles. Whether he was holding a gun or holding his daughter, he was captivating. It's no surprise then that years later, Robert Scorpio was ranked among the top 20 greatest soap characters of all time. That's how much of an impact this so-called one-day character had. First up, the Ice Princess saga. If you know, you know. This was one of the most famous story arcs in daytime history. Scorpio, along with Luke Spencer and others, faced off against the Cassadine family, who planned to use a weather machine to freeze the world. Yes, you heard that right, freeze the world. It was over-the-top, dramatic, and fans loved every second. And then came the wedding of Luke and Laura in 1981. Which drew over 30 million viewers, the most watched hour in daytime television history. Robert Scorpio wasn't just a background character at this wedding, he was part of the adventure that led to it. His role in saving the day cemented him as a crucial part of GH history. But Robert's storylines weren't just about villains and spy missions, his love life was equally dramatic. His marriages to Anna Devane and Holly Sutton gave fans romance, heartbreak, and endless gossip. One minute, he was saving the world. The next, he was caught in a love triangle that had viewers screaming at their TVs. And let's not forget the times Robert was presumed dead. In 1992, he and Anna were killed in a boat explosion, but of course this was a soap opera, so no body meant no final goodbye. In 1995, Robert even appeared as a ghost to comfort his daughter Robin. Fans cried buckets. But just when everyone thought it was over, in 2006, Robert returned alive and ready for action. Talk about a comeback! Each storyline reminded fans why Scorpio was so special. He wasn't just another soap character stuck in the hospital halls, he was larger than life, with adventures that could rival any primetime thriller. Let's step away from the screen for a moment and talk about the man behind the legend, Tristan Rogers. Tristan was born on June 3, 1946, in Melbourne, Australia. Before making it big in the United States, he worked on various Australian dramas and soap operas, like Number 96 and The Box. He moved to America in 1980, not knowing that one small role on General Hospital would change his entire life. In fact, Tristan himself admitted he didn't realize how huge GH was when he got the job. For him, it was just another acting gig. But once he stepped on set, everything changed. His chemistry with the cast, his charisma, and his natural charm made Robert Scorpio unforgettable. Off-screen, Tristan was known as a kind and down-to-earth man. Co-stars have often shared how generous and humble he was, despite his fame. Anthony Geary, who played Luke Spencer, said working with Tristan in the late 70s and 80s felt like just yesterday, because Tristan's presence was so powerful and lasting. Beyond General Hospital, Tristan also had roles on The Young and the Restless, voiced characters in Disney's The Rescuers Down Under, and even won an Emmy for his role in Studio City. But no matter where his career took him, fans always knew him as Robert Scorpio. He once said that he created the role from nothing, which is true. Scorpio wasn't written as a legend, but Tristan made him one. Behind the scenes, gossip often floated about his long-standing friendships with co-stars and his dedication to fans. He never turned down a chance to meet viewers, sign autographs, or talk about the role that made him famous. And now, we get to the saddest chapter in this story, the real-life loss that shocked the soap world. On August 15, 2025, Tristan Rogers passed away at the age of 79 after a short but intense battle with lung cancer. Fans were heartbroken, and tributes began pouring in immediately. Just a month before, in July, Tristan had been diagnosed. It was a sudden and devastating turn. Despite the diagnosis, he remained brave, but unfortunately he lost the fight just weeks later. His manager confirmed the news, saying Tristan loved being Scorpio and had created that role from nothing. General Hospital's executive producer Frank Valentini also released a statement calling Tristan a legend and said the entire GH family was devastated. Co-stars shared emotional tributes. Anthony Geary, Finola Hughes, and many others spoke about how Tristan wasn't just a co-worker, he was family. Fans took to social media, sharing their favorite Scorpio moments, from spy missions to tender father-daughter scenes with Robin. His death also left a big question. What happens to Robert Scorpio in General Hospital? Fans began speculating whether the show would give Robert a proper farewell storyline. After all, a character this iconic couldn't just disappear without closure. Would they write him out heroically? Would they honor him in a special tribute episode? The buzz was everywhere. And to make things even more emotional, Tristan's final TV appearance aired on The Young and the Restless on August 26, 2025, just days after his passing. It became an unplanned tribute, with fans watching in tears, knowing it was the last time they'd see him on screen. It was truly the end of an era, a legacy unlike any other. Tristan didn't just play a role, he transformed it. What started as a one-day guest spot became a 45-year journey that defined daytime television. He created one of the most iconic soap opera characters of all time, gave fans adventure and romance, and showed that daytime TV could be just as thrilling as any movie. Robert Scorpio was more than a character. He was a hero, a lover, a fighter, and above all, a survivor. And Tristan Rogers made sure fans believed in him every step of the way. Even though Tristan is no longer with us, his impact will last forever. Reruns, clips, and fan tributes will keep Robert Scorpio alive in the hearts of millions. And fans will always remember the witty, brave spy who changed General Hospital forever. So here's our final gossip note. Robert Scorpio may have been fictional, but Tristan Rogers made him immortal. If you're a fan, Drop your favorite Scorpio memory in the comments below. Was it the Ice Princess? His love with Anna? His return from the dead? Let's keep his memory alive by sharing the moments that made us laugh, cry, and cheer. Because in Port Charles, legends never,